Polar bears are among the coolest animals on Earth. Literally. Symbols of power and grace, they are easily one of the planet's most recognizable and loved animals. More recently, they have become the iconic symbol for the impact of climate change on the world's wildlife. Even at the Buffalo Zoo, where polar bears have been a favorite attraction for more than 100 years, their future is in doubt.
It would seem unfathomable that the zoo might lose its polar bears, but that's the reality that the Buffalo Zoo faces today.
Founded shortly after the Civil War, the Buffalo Zoo is the nation's third oldest. Each year, nearly 500,000 people benefit from its unique recreational, environmental, and educational activities. But this was not always the case. From the 1950s to the 1990s, very little investment was made to the zoo's facilities. As a result, by 1995, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums warned that the zoo is at risk of losing its professional accreditation, which could lead to its ultimate closing.
These threats to the zoo's very existence prompted development of a real master plan, one that secures the future of the zoo for decades to come. Unlike previous master plans, the zoo has already implemented Phase 1 and now turns to Phase 2.
The first phase of the master plan accomplished many amazing changes from 2002 to 2009, including Vanishing Animals, Eco Station, Otter Creek, Sea Lion Cove, M&T Bank Rainforest Falls, a completely renovated elephant house, the expansion of the vet hospital and the Delta Sonic Heritage Farm. All were designed and built during the first phase of the zoo's master plan, and all accomplished in just the last 8 years. Careful spending, true efficiency, and animal management necessities prompted the zoo to also include 3 projects from Phase 2 of the master plan as part of Phase 1.
It's important to realize that many of these changes were mandated by the zoo's accrediting body, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, or AZA, and federal regulations from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Without AZA accreditation and our USDA license, the Buffalo Zoo could not exhibit our incredible collection of animals to more than 450,000 visitors each year.
The Buffalo Zoo enjoys the highest attendance of any cultural organization in Erie County and follows only Niagara Falls and Darien Lake as a visitor destination in western New York. About 1,800 specimens, representing more than 160 different species from 6 continents, lend significant educational impact to 35,000 school children each year. Distance learning programs greatly expand our educational reach throughout the U.S. The Buffalo Zoo also participates in 25 species survival plans for threatened and endangered species. The wild is not the only place where polar bears are threatened.
Unless the zoo makes substantial progress towards developing and funding construction plans for a new facility, our polar bears, Anana and Nanook, will be relocated to another zoo and the polar bear exhibit will be closed.
The bear exhibit dates back to the 1890s, with little change since the 1930s. Off-exhibit holding areas are cramped and accessible only through damp and dark tunnels, and the bears are visible to the keepers only through small portals. The original freshwater pools lack filtration systems and must be emptied and filled regularly to clean and sanitize the water. More importantly, polar bears are marine mammals and so should be maintained in salt water, not freshwater pools.
Lack of proper filtration causes algae to grow, which is not harmful to the bears but causes their fur to turn green. A century of freezing and thawing has compromised the structural integrity of the stone and the concrete in these exhibits, creating unsafe conditions not only for the animals but for the keepers like me who care for them.
The Buffalo Zoo's commitment to the polar bears includes a successful track record of breeding, with buffalo-born bears found in zoos throughout the country. Modern and naturalistic facilities will increase the likelihood of successful breeding programs for the future. Last year alone, the zoo successfully bred more than 25 different species, including bighorn sheep, snow leopard, hump-headed dragon, Mexican lance-headed rattlesnake, black howler monkey, reticulated giraffe, and spotted hyena. Equally important, the new exhibit will meet the Manitoba standards for captive polar bears as adopted by the AZA. This is critically important since a likely future source of polar bears for zoos may be orphaned cubs from Canada. If the Buffalo Zoo is to have future polar bears, it must meet these strict exhibit and husbandry standards. The Buffalo Zoo plans 2 major initiatives to launch Phase 2 of the master plan. A new entrance must be created to make way for the Arctic Edge, the new polar bear habitat and interpretive center.
Besides creating new and better exhibits for the animals, the zoo must provide enhanced services to accommodate the growing number of people that are visiting the zoo.
In order to construct Arctic Edge, the current entrance must be relocated. The new entrance adjacent to the parking lot will avoid huge lines forming along a major thoroughfare, Parkside Avenue, and prepare the zoo for future growth. The new entrance will not only be directly accessible to the parking lot, it will also add restrooms, a new cafe, and an enlarged gift shop, creating additional income earning opportunities for the zoo.
Although few zoos are completely self-sufficient, the Buffalo Zoo is committed to reducing its reliance on public support. Additional retail and food outlets available to both zoo and Delaware Park visitors will provide the much-needed added income for the Buffalo Zoo.
The new entry plaza will emphasize the zoo's organizing theme of water in a fun and engaging manner. Interpretive graphics will highlight Buffalo's water story, including Niagara Falls and hydroelectric power, the Erie Canal, and transportation. The primary purpose of Phase 2 remains firm: to save the polar bears with a state-of-the-art exhibit entitled Arctic Edge. Arctic Edge will house 4 specific areas, including the primary exhibit space, holding dens, cubbing dens, and the behind-the-scenes management and service areas. The exhibit will include environmental components that are better for the bears and more consistent with conditions they'd find in nature. Furnishing and environmental enhancement will change regularly, offering stimulation and interest for the bears and visitors alike. Arctic Edge will ensure the long-term presence of polar bears by strictly adhering to Manitoba standards, qualifying the zoo to secure orphaned cubs or offspring of those cubs. The exhibit will be more than 15,000 square feet in size and include 120,000 gallons of saltwater pools. Overall, the exhibit will promote many of the polar bears' natural behaviors. A specialized life support system will maintain high water quality by processing natural waste through a state-of-the-art water filtration system. While polar bears may enjoy the harshest of nature's conditions, visitors to the exhibit at the zoo will be protected by a sheltered viewing area. And thanks to 18-foot viewing windows and concrete walls, visitors will be safely separated from one of nature's most efficient predators. The Arctic Edge will also add 3 new animals to the zoo: Arctic wolf, bald eagle, and Canadian lynx.
Creating zoo exhibits, particularly one as specialized and complex as Arctic Edge, is neither inexpensive nor fast. Designs for the Arctic Edge were developed over a 2-year planning period.
Zoo leadership recognizes the challenges of raising funds in today's economy. The original campaign plans called for a $36 million fundraising goal, which also included a host of exhibits besides Arctic Edge and the new entrance.
We understand the economic reality, and so we've adjusted the master plan to focus on one critical area: saving the polar bears. We can't imagine the Buffalo Zoo without the polar bears.
The cost remains substantial. Arctic Edge, the polar bear's new exhibit, will cost $13.5 million, down from the original plans costing $16 million. The new entrance will cost $4.5 million. Following 2 years of consideration and a professional feasibility study, the Buffalo Zoo has launched the Bear Necessities, a campaign to raise $18 million from private and public sources over the next 5 to 7 years.
The zoo has progressed so far, so fast, thanks to the extraordinary support of the people of Western New York. It is a unique cultural attraction with an incredible legacy and an exciting and vibrant future.
The zoo's best days are ahead, and support of the Bear Necessities campaign will ensure that families will enjoy the Buffalo Zoo and its natural exhibit, the Arctic Edge, for another 135 years.